Hey everyone, and welcome to the Just Get Hired podcast. To keep a cadence of cranking out an episode every other Tuesday, well, here's your episode. Now this is going to be a little bit shorter than normal because I, my friends, have procrastinated. Now I like to keep a schedule and I try to be timely when it comes to the things that matter. And depending on when you're tuning in, you probably did not even notice anyway. But I'm calling this episode Getting Shit Done. Why? Well, because time management and being accountable for the things that we're supposed to be accountable for are important. Well, before we get started, hey everyone, my name is Jessica Fiesta George, and I'm your host of Just Get Hired. This podcast is for job seekers, business professionals, hiring managers, or really anyone who just wants to level up their opportunities. This podcast, we talk about everything from personal branding. I introduce you to the latest in HR technology, and we talk about trends impacting the job market today. I also introduce you to a lot of top disruptors in the talent space. Well, this episode, we're going to kind of keep it short and sweet, but hopefully you're going to get something out of it like I did. We're going to talk about accountability, time management tips, and just learn about the time wasters that impact how we function to simply get shit done. Well, if you guys enjoy my content, make sure you head over to my website, justgethired.com. Follow me on Instagram, Just Get Hired. Look me up on LinkedIn by searching my full name, Jessica Fiesta George. So come on back. Let's talk about how to get shit done, and let's go. Look, I have no excuse really as to why I'm releasing this episode just a little bit later than I would personally like. And like I said earlier, if you're just tuning in, you probably don't even notice a difference anyway. But life got in the way, and between all of my different work trips and all of my obligations, and yes, I took a 3-day mini vacation to Amsterdam, I failed to prioritize and time simply got away from me. Well, I can hear it in my voice, and I'm sure you guys can too. I'm tired, and yes, I'm a little bit exhausted. Well, I'm a creature of habit, and it did cross my mind that maybe I shouldn't even release an episode this week just so I can catch up with life and work and everything else going on in my life. But, I said no. Do what you said you're going to do. Live up to your end of the bargain. So here you go, everyone. Welcome to episode 37. Getting shit done. Well, there are a lot of time sucks in our day. Have you ever started your morning, opened up your laptop, got distracted, checked a couple emails, went to run an errand, got up to use the bathroom, fix yourself some lunch, walk the dog, or whatever, and then you realize that you really didn't do a damn thing and it's already 5 o'clock? Well, I've had a couple of those moments recently, and I will say it takes a certain discipline to work from home and just feel productive. Well, I know if I'm juggling a lot of things, I'm sure you are too. I am a mom, I am a wife, I'm a friend, I'm a coworker, I'm a manager, I'm a leader, I'm a speaker, I'm a trainer, I'm a mentor, and a lot of other different labels. And then there's all of the things that I actually like to do in my spare time, if I have any. And that's podcasting, my side hustle of keeping up my real estate business, and all of the other things that I like to do, like going out, hanging out, and like just eating at great restaurants and hanging out with my dog and my friends. Well, I thought, how can we manage our time better? I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels the pressure of getting your shit together. So I thought maybe we should talk about some of the things that I've learned about on how to manage your time, especially if you're at work. I titled this episode, Getting Shit Done When You Suck at Time Management. Well, why is time management so important? Well, how you deliberately control how you're spending your time to maximize productivity and just getting your shit together means that you're going to have a lot better quality of work. You'll be a lot less stressed. You're going to have more time for all of the other crap that you have to do. It's also going to mean less procrastination and, of course, help you increasing your self-confidence. So from my personal experiences, I want to also share with you some of the tips that I find will help you in managing your time. So the first thing is understanding how you're actually spending your time. So take a look at how you spend your day. What are you putting the most energy into? I think that also reveals a lot of habits that you've developed and also could reveal what's blocking you from getting your shit together. Take a look at how you're spending time on non-work related activities, and I'm guilty of this. I like browsing on social media. I get lost in that tunnel. Online shopping, adding things to my Amazon account, creating TikToks and Instagram reels. Yeah, I see you. Make sure you're sticking to a schedule. So we all have 24 hours in a day. So why does it seem that we want to cram everything in an 8-hour block of time? I think different tasks call for different time blocks. And a lot of people tend to overestimate what it takes to get things accomplished in a day. So take time and dedicate the time that you have to the things that need your undivided attention, but also take a look at the things that you can do later and set realistic timelines for yourself so that you don't feel burdened down by having everything due at the same time. Also, what's important to you? So prioritize and be organized. And I know I can also do better on creating to-do lists. I have a to-do list in my mind, but I fail to write it down. And I'm always the first to go out and buy those cute organizers or those cute little planners at the beginning of the new year. And I will admit that I use them for maybe the first month or so, and then they get put to the side. Well, to-do lists can be really good productivity lifesavers because, it keeps you on track. But if you're not careful, they can get so long and so big and overwhelming that you don't even know where to start. So there's a tool known as the Eisenhower matrix. So take a look at what that is. But the Eisenhower matrix can help you decide how to prioritize based on importance and urgency. So if you use this, you can also break down your list by what they have 4 different buckets. So first thing is, what can you do immediately? Take a look at those tasks that are defined with deadlines or the ones that you've been putting off and do those first. The second thing is schedule for later. So what are those important things that you have to get done that are on your list that don't have a defined deadline? The third thing is delegate. What are some things on your list that you can also ask someone to help you with? And then delete. Try to eliminate any tasks that are not critical for you to get things done. So prioritize and be organized. But like they say, do what you're dreading the most first. We all have that one thing on the list that we're dreading to do, and as a result of that, it keeps getting pushed to the very bottom of the list. So get it done and get it over with. Also, how can you combine your efforts? So think about how you're grouping your tasks. If you're checking emails, if you have to respond to emails at a certain time of the day, if you have weekly reports that are due, how can you get all of that done maybe on a certain day of the week or a certain hour of the day and still meet your deadlines? So take a look at maybe taking client meetings only on Mondays and Tuesdays. Maybe you're only responding to emails or sending emails from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If you have reports to generate, how can you get that done first thing in the morning and then distribute it to whoever needs it? The other thing I think it's also important is just setting reasonable time limits. If you have a full day to complete 2 tasks that should maybe only take 3 hours, you'll probably still spend that whole day on those 2 tasks. So if you give yourself a smaller window, chances are you're still going to meet the deadline and maybe finish it a little bit earlier. Also, just know it's okay to say no. If you're going to just end up half-assing a project because you realize that you really just didn't have time, then you probably should just say, no, I can't do it. We all have only so much energy to give to something in our day. So if you see something that you can maybe delegate to, bring in a partner, and if you can't get it done, it's okay to admit that that project might not be for you. So this is where being self-aware is really important. Know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and own up to it. Also, avoid multitasking. Okay, I'm guilty of multitasking. And if you are like me, you probably have done a lot of multitasking during those dreaded video conferences. But the one thing about multitasking is you risk missing out on important information or even creating more mistakes for yourself if you're trying to do too much at one time. So, personal side note, I was really bad at multitasking one time, and I was trying to do my work, listen to a meeting, and then, of course, trying to book tickets and help my mom do a couple of things. So I was booking tickets for a Broadway show for my mom and I when I was going on a business trip to New York City. And well, it ended up costing us a lot of money because I actually booked for the wrong day and the wrong time, and we showed up a day late. And of course, not only did I disappoint my mom in the process, but that little mistake not only hurt myself, but it hurt someone else that I love. So, by the way, Mom, I'm sorry. Now, the other thing and the last thing is just get your shit together. Make sure you're leveraging any tools that can increase your productivity and boost automation. So think about things that you're currently using. OneDrive or Google Drives is what I like to use for storing and sharing and backing up my files. I live and breathe with staying on top of my calendar, so I use Outlook for that and any notes on my smartphone. And then I am a huge fan of Calendly. Now, I'm not sponsored by them, but if you have any type of tools like that where it can set up time, you can block off your calendar, or people can book times when they can see that you're available, then those are some of the tools that can help you get your shit done. So I want to know, what are other tools that you guys use? I'd love to learn what you are doing to get your shit together and just keeping it all together. So make sure you email me at jessgethired@gmail.com because I want to hear about your tips and your tricks. Bottom line, your time belongs to you. Be in control, accomplish what you can, but be self-aware that we can't all be super moms or super dads. And there's going to be times that you're just going to have to raise your hand and ask for help. But at the end, you're still going to get everything checked off your to-do list. Okay, I told you this episode was going to be short and sweet. So to wrap things up, I think it's also important to understand the distractions in the workplace that can help you with your time management. So let's face it, not all meetings are productive. Do you ever have a meeting about another meeting so you know what the other meeting's going to be about? If you find yourself being that person who's setting up meetings like that and you can better put that in an email, think twice. Also, micromanaging your team or having a micromanager, that's a huge distraction on time because you're trying to account for every second of the day. Don't be that person. Disorganization. Keep your desk clean and organized. I like to say I have organized chaos and organized piles of crap on my desk, but I know I can do better. Online distractions. Turn off that TV, get off Instagram, quit trolling on Twitter, and just shut it down for a bit. You're going to find that life is going on and you will have time eventually to catch up. Well, what are other time sucks in your workplace that distract you? Well, I want to hear from you, so find me on LinkedIn by searching my full name, Jessica Fiesta George. Also, look me up on my website, jessgethired.com, and subscribe to my email list. I'll have all of my social media links in the show notes and, of course, on my website. Well, there you have it. I got shit done today, and I hope that you will too. So I want to thank you for spending a little bit time with me today. So make sure that you keep this on your calendar. Remember, I launch an episode the first and third Tuesday of each month. Well, my name is Jessica Fiesta George, your host of the Jess Get Hired podcast. What do y'all want to talk about next? I'll catch you on my next episode.